off in the NFL with the Sunday night primetime matchup. It was a masterpiece, a thriller in Buffalo between Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen as the Buffalo Bills beat the Baltimore Ravens 41-40. Matt Prater kicked a 32-yard field goal as time expired for the Ravens. Lamar had a really, really good game. He went 14 of 19. He threw for 209 passing yards, 2 touchdowns. Derrick Henry was balling, 18 carries, 169 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns. Josh Allen had a sensational performance. He went 33 of 46. He threw for 394 passing yards, 2 touchdowns. And Coleman, the receiver for the Bills, 8 receptions, 112 receiver yards, 1 touchdowns. First and foremost, as I watched the Ravens-Bills game last night, the NFL could not have chosen a better quarterback matchup between Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen. Lamar and Josh were balling last night. I'm watching this game, and I was in awe of the elite quarterback play on display by Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen. I mean, it was a masterpiece by both of these elite quarterbacks who are top 5 quarterbacks in the NFL. Both of these quarterbacks, respectively, have won NFL MVPs, and they have led their team to multiple playoff appearances throughout their careers, and they are 2 of the top 5 quarterbacks in the NFL, period. And I was watching this game thinking to myself, this is when I think about Tom Brady and Peyton Manning and Drew Brees and Aaron Rodgers and even Tom Brady and Phillip Rivers or Tom Brady and Ben Roethlisberger. I'm looking at these 2 quarterbacks and I'm thinking to myself, these are 2 of the great quarterbacks, not only just in our game today, but in the NFL history. Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen both are generational talents. And when it comes to generational talents, Ryan Clark on ESPN, he had some interesting comments last week, and he talked about how players like Tom Brady were not generational talents. And I 100% agree with Ryan Clark. Now, he got a bunch of flack for his comments, but I understand 100% where Ryan Clark was coming from. And so before I get into the actual breakdown of the game, let me explain the difference in a generational quarterback and a great quarterback who happened to work hard and obviously made a name for themselves. These quarterbacks I'm about to name are quarterbacks to me that are quarterbacks who worked hard throughout their career and they became great, but they're not generational talents. Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Drew Brees. I don't believe Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, or Drew Brees are generational talents. They worked hard, and they are 3 of the greatest quarterbacks in NFL history. And they built their careers off of working hard, being football gurus, because that's what Brees, Brady, and Manning are. And they put a lot of time into their craft, and they dedicated so much effort to becoming the players that they became. And they are 3 of the top 10 quarterbacks in NFL history. Make no mistake about it. But when I think about generational talent at the quarterback position, I think of the Lamar Jacksons of the world. I think of the Josh Allens of the world. I think of the Aaron Rodgers of the world. I think of the Patrick Mahomes of the world. And you could even throw Joe Burrow in that conversation as well with Manning, Brees, and Brady, who are players who are not generational talents, but are still great quarterbacks in their own right, who worked hard. But when I think about generational talent, I think about Josh Allen, Aaron Rodgers, Lamar Jackson. Those are quarterbacks that I think about when I think about generational talent. And we saw it on full display last night in Buffalo. But watching the game last night, the Ravens, they had a 40-25 lead in the fourth quarter. And let me give y'all some context on the records entering Sunday when a team trails by 15 points in the final 4 minutes of the fourth quarter. This is since 2000. Teams that trail by 15 points in the final 4 minutes of the fourth quarter, they were 3 and 2,312. So that's 3 wins and 2,312 losses when they trail by 15 points in the final 4 minutes of the fourth quarter. And I'm looking at the Ravens last night. Obviously, Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry both were balling last night. I mean, I'm looking at Lamar Jackson. He could not have played a better game. 14 of 19 passing, 209 passing yards, 2 touchdowns. Derrick Henry, 18 carries, 169 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns. Lamar Jackson also had 6 carries for 70 rushing yards, 1 touchdown. Zay Flowers was balling for the Ravens, 7 receptions, 143 receiving yards, 1 touchdown. D-Hop was balling as well. He had 2 catches for only 35 yards, but D-Hop turned back the clock with that one-handed touchdown grab. That was a sensational play by D-Hop. He definitely turned back the clock on that particular play. And the Ravens offensively, they were balling last night. They were balling. In the game, they had 432 total yards of offense, 238 yards rushing, 194 passing yards. But we've seen this movie before with the Baltimore Ravens, where once again they had control of a game and the Ravens beat themselves. We have seen this countless times throughout the Lamar Jackson and John Harbaugh era. It happened last year in the divisional round in this same stadium against Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills when Lamar had brought the Ravens back in the second half and they score a touchdown. They get down to the 2-point attempt and Mark Andrews completely drops a potential game-tying 2-point attempt, and the Ravens lose the game. And it happened again Sunday night in Buffalo where Derrick Henry, at the most inopportune time, fumbles the football. And Derrick Henry had a great performance in that matchup. A great performance. The Bills defense, they had no answers for Derrick Henry. But that fumble was costly to the Baltimore Ravens. Now, when it comes to Derrick Henry is one of the best running backs in the NFL. And I think last year we got so caught up in Saquon Barkley's performance for the Philadelphia Eagles, we forgot about how dominant Derrick Henry was last year for the Baltimore Ravens. And Derrick Henry, his 2 touchdowns last night, he became the 6th all-time leader in touchdowns by a running back. He's only behind Walter Payton, Adrian Peterson, Marcus Allen, LaDainian Tomlinson, and Emmitt Smith. So Derrick Henry was balling last night, but the fumble was costly, and it really cost the Ravens to keep control of that game. But to me, as bad as Derrick Henry's fumble was, the worst decision of the game came when the Ravens, they had the football with a minute and 33 seconds left. It's 4th and 3. They are on the 38-yard line. They're on the Ravens' 38-yard line. And John Harbaugh decides to put the football back to Josh Allen. That is a huge mistake. And let me say this to John Harbaugh, and I love John Harbaugh. John Harbaugh is a Super Bowl champion. He won NFL Coach of the Year in 2019. And he's forgotten more football than I know. And you look at his career record. He is 185, 116, which means he's won 62% of his games. But I think John Harbaugh has to adjust his philosophy. In years prior, we have witnessed the Baltimore Ravens be more of a defensive culture and a defensive team. Dating back to the early 2000s with Ray Lewis and Ed Reed and even Terrell Suggs as well on the defensive side of the ball. But that is no longer the Baltimore Ravens. The Baltimore Ravens' strength of their football team is their offense with Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry. And so, to me, if you're going to go down, I'm going to go down with Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry. Josh Allen was already putting on a clinic at the quarterback position. There is no way in hell I am giving Josh Allen the football back to beat me. It's not going to happen. If I lose, I'm going to lose allowing Lamar Jackson or Derrick Henry to get me a first down. So I thought John Harbaugh made a huge mistake punting the football with 1 minute and 33 seconds left in the game. That was a mistake because he essentially lost the game in that moment for the Baltimore Ravens. You look at win probability. If you go for it on fourth down, the Ravens had an 81% chance to win the game. Punting the football, it goes down to 73%. But what analytics don't tell you is that that's Josh Allen on the other side. And so for me, I thought that was the biggest mistake from a head coaching perspective in this game. You got to go for it on fourth down. Now, let's talk about Josh Allen. Ladies and gentlemen, that was the best game I have ever seen from Josh Allen. Josh Allen was balling against the Baltimore Ravens Sunday night on NBC. That was one of the greatest performances I have ever seen from Josh Allen, and I believe that is his greatest performance in his career. That's how great Josh Allen played in that game. I'm looking at Josh Allen because Lamar Jackson played great, but Josh Allen played sensational. I'm looking at Josh Allen. This is in the fourth quarter against the Ravens. He goes 16 for 21. He throws for 251 passing yards. He has combined 3 passing/rushing touchdowns. His passer rating was 131.3 in the fourth quarter. And the Bills scored 16 unanswered points over the final 4 minutes. And for me, I have heard people say throughout the years that Josh Allen is as talented as Patrick Mahomes. And I always have said, I'm not ready to go there yet because Patrick Mahomes has the MVPs, he has the Super Bowls, and he has a Super Bowl MVPs to back up on his resume that Josh Allen simply does not have. But last night watching that game against the Baltimore Ravens, that was the first time I thought to myself, Josh Allen possibly could be the best quarterback in the NFL, or at least as good as Patrick Mahomes is. And the thing is, with Josh Allen, not only is Josh Allen great in the regular season, Josh Allen is also great even in the postseason. You look at Josh Allen, and this is what separates Josh Allen from Lamar Jackson, and I've been on record, right? I have said that Lamar Jackson is the second best quarterback in the NFL, considering he's a 2-time NFL MVP, and he's never had the luxury of having a true number 1 receiver in my eyes, like Josh Allen or Joe Burrow has had. Josh Allen previously had Stephon Diggs. But the reason why I understand why someone would say Josh Allen is a better quarterback than Lamar Jackson is because of Josh Allen's elite playoff performances. You look at Josh Allen, this is Josh Allen in the postseason. He's 7-6, but you look at his numbers. He has 25 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, 3,359 passing yards, completing 66% of his passes. So Josh Allen, not only does he perform at an elite level in the regular season, Josh Allen elevates his game in the postseason. The only reason why Josh Allen has not reached a Super Bowl is because of Patrick Mahomes. Make no mistake about it. But even against the Chiefs, Josh Allen performs at an elite level against Patrick Mahomes. He just cannot get over that hump. So please don't ever compare Josh Allen to the Phillip Rivers of the world, because I've heard people try to compare Josh to Phillip. No, Phillip could never beat Tom Brady in those pivotal playoff games. But I know Josh Allen has not beat Mahomes yet either, but damn it, he has come close. And the Bills have never lost a playoff game against the Chiefs because of Josh Allen. And so I thought he was sensational last night, and he was the biggest reason why the Bills overcame a 15-point deficit in the final 5 minutes of that game. Seriously. And last night, this is rare air, the Bills became the first team in NFL history to overcome a 15-point deficit in final 4 minutes of a fourth quarter in a season opener. And so this bodes well for the Bills, because I think it's a great possibility we are going to see Ravens-Bills in the playoffs. And so now the Bills, they own the tiebreaker over the Ravens. And when you look at the Buffalo Bills in their remaining schedule, they have the 30th strength of schedule rank, and they are favored in their final 16 games played. So the Bills will be favored the rest of the way. They'll be favored the rest of the way. So that was a big-time win by Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. But as great as Lamar Jackson is, and as great as John Harbaugh is as a head coach, the Baltimore Ravens always find themselves in these situations where they have mistakes at inopportune times. And that's how you lose football games. And the Bills, on the other hand, they always find a way and figure out a way to make plays in pivotal moments in football games. And that's the reason why the Bills beat the Ravens on Sunday Night Football. But it was a great game between two elite teams in the NFL and in the AFC. It would not surprise me if the Ravens and Bills meet again in the postseason. And that performance from Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen, I was watching that game thinking to myself, these are two of the greatest quarterbacks, not only in the NFL today, but in NFL history. So those are my thoughts on the Ravens-Bills game. Bills come out on top 41-40 over the Ravens.
Go in, go in, go in.